Howdy, guys, and welcome to night 57 of the Overnight Feeds recaps for Big Brother Season 24. And welcome to Cliff Notes. All right, Eviction night is here. We know who's going home. On the block are Taylor and Kyle. Kyle is heading out the door. There's really no uncertainty at this point in time. Even Terrance finally realized what was going on. He has stopped his pitching, stopped his campaigning. Kyle's going home. The big question tonight is going to be, who wins HOH? Is it going to be Michael, Brittany, and Taylor controlling that side? Is it going to be Terrance, Alyssa, Turner on the other side? Monty, which side is Monty on? Whoever wins HOH really could control what happens for the rest of the game. So very excited to see that. But already knowing who's going home, last night, conversations not as much game related. Everyone just kind of chilling out. They're waiting until tonight's HOH. So we had a little game talk, but primarily it's just people hanging out. Alyssa and Kyle having a little bit of a goodbye tour of their own. Seems like they were snuggling in just about every room in this house. So we'll talk about the conversations that were had. There was a big competition that took place, so we'll talk about that as well. All right, so first of all, as we finish up the TV episode and we go to the live feeds themselves, we've got Terrance and Monty in the car bedroom. They're talking about how Kyle needs to handle it when he goes to the jury house. He's going to go to that jury house, and he's got Jasmine and Indy and Joseph just waiting to find out what happened and who's showing up. That could be an interesting conversation that he has. But Monty and Terrance are saying, look, we've both told him he needs to come clean with the three of them. He needs to own everything that happened, not try to sugarcoat it, just take ownership. Monty's saying, if I come into that house after Kyle and find out that he didn't really say everything that happened, I'm going to have to reveal it as well. So hopefully he needs to get ahead of it and take care of business. So they're talking about that a little bit. They're rehashing what happened during Dyer Fest when the two groups were separated. Terrance is kind of explaining what led to him sending Joseph out the door and mentioning that Kyle took a lot of truth and just a few little lies and kind of manipulated it into helping get Joseph out the door a little bit. Monty's saying, nah, I get it completely. It makes sense. And, we're good. I'm not holding against you, Terrance. We're good. So we've got that. All right. Meanwhile, we've got Michael and Brittany and Taylor. And then later, Alyssa comes in as well to the golf bedroom. They're talking about secrets that the Houseguests revealed earlier in the season. Just things like Taylor saying, revealing that she was Miss Congeniality at her tournament or her beauty pageant. They're laughing at Terrance said his big secret was he thought Amira was pretty. They're laughing that Alyssa had said that she was like a marine biologist or something like that. That they all said, yeah, not so much. And Alyssa was kidding as well. But they're talking about that a little bit. They're talking about social media followings that people, Houseguests might have. They know Kyle's got a lot of them, wondering who else might. They talk about Indy and some crystals and things like that. Moves on to candy talk. Michael talking about a special Halloween candy that he held on to eat on his special day, only to discover that his mom found it and ate it instead. We've got Alyssa, Brittany apologizing to Alyssa because Alyssa had set aside a Snickers bar for their big baking championship tournament they were going to have this evening. And Brittany didn't realize it, and she ate the Snickers anyway. So she's apologizing to Alyssa for that. Yes, we're going to have a baking championship tonight. Three of the Houseguests are going to be cooking desserts, and everyone else is going to be judging. We'll talk about that in a second. A little talk about Celebrity Big Brother, them watching that, and then talk about the Big Brother after party. For those of you who don't know, after the show wraps, there's typically a big party held at a nightclub somewhere there in LA, and most of the current Houseguests show up. A lot of former Houseguests show up as well. I went to it. It was really cool. And so they're talking about who may be there, who they'd like to see there. Just, again, a lot of non-game talk. All right. We do have Turner coming in to hang with Monty and Turner in the Terrance in the car bedroom. They're laughing about the fact that that Terrance used, too many people still with T names in this house, laughing about Terrance using Turner's use of the term facts to kind of put Turner on the block. That Turner said, man, he convinced me I said things I didn't even say just by saying, yeah, you were saying facts to it. And so they're all laughing about that. No animosity at all. Talk turns to food a little bit, and maybe the most relevant part of the entire evening's conversation, Monty pointing out that he has never met a person who does not like French toast. In Turner's words, facts. Do any of y'all not like French toast? Post in the comments if you do, because I don't know if I've ever met a person either who does not like French toast. So they talk about that. Talk a little bit about sports talk. Turner's not big into sports. The other guys are, so they're talking a little bit about that as well. And from that, we go to the dessert baking championship has begun. It's kind of a boring evening. So hey, do what you can to make it a little more interesting. We've got Alyssa and Michael, and Alyssa, Michael, and Turner are cooking the cookies. Taylor's hosting. Terrance, Monty, and Brittany are judging. Kyle not participating so much, but yeah, we get it. They each got a package of cookie dough as a base, or I think they split up a package. They're decorating with candy pieces. They're telling stories. I know Michael took a little bark chocolate and made everyone's initials out of it, and they're having fun with it, trying to be creative. And the results of this cook-off, Michael wins by a single point over Turner. Alyssa is a distant third. I remember during my season, Kat Dunn would always cook campaign cookies, where she would cook cookies and pass them out as campaign votes when she was on the block. When she and I were on the block together, she did that. I just went and took some chocolate chip cookies, pre-made, heated them up in the oven, melted just a little bit of, I think, marshmallows on the top of it, passed those things out and passed them off as homemade as well. I don't know if that made the difference or not, but hey, we had fun with our cookies as well. But we never had a bake-off like this. Fun way to spend an hour or so. All right, after that, we had the start of the Alyssa Kyle goodbye tour, I suppose. We've got Alyssa and Kyle snuggling in the upstairs bumper pool area. They're talking about plans after the game is over. Kyle's wanting to do more TikTok videos. He's talking about going somewhere like Bali. Alyssa's just saying that she just wants some time alone after she gets out of here. I get it. I get it completely, Alyssa. She's saying maybe move to Tampa, get an apartment, so do something like that. She doesn't know anyone in Tampa. She just wants to kind of get away. Like I get it completely. I remember after being at that house, I just wanted to get away from everyone that was in there, spend time with my family, get back to what you're accustomed to, what really is your passion. So yeah, Kyle wants to travel. Alyssa wants to move into an apartment and move on with life. Kyle's wondering if he'll get hugs from everyone as he leaves. Yeah, I fully expect everyone to give him hugs. Surely at this point in time they'll give him hugs, right? I would expect so. Alyssa's talking about how mad Taylor and Brittany are, that Terrance is trying to keep Kyle, and Kyle is responding saying how much he loves Terrance, how much Terrance has helped him, how grateful he is for Terrance, doing what he could to help him. All right, we've got quick evening. We've got all the house guests in bed. It was before 10, so they're not necessarily sleeping, although Michael sure was doing a good impression of it. But all the house guests in bed, half of them very much seeming like they are asleep, but Big Brother not really calling them out at this point in time. And then we have Alyssa and Kyle moving from the bumper pool room to the have-not room, the famous have-not room. Alyssa saying that she already knows some of what she wants to say in her final 2 speech. Well, it's good that you got the speech prepared, but you got a little work to do between now and then. But she says she already knows what she wants to do in her final 2 speech. Part of it apparently is going to be saying that she has never sat on the block on eviction night. And she thinks, I think she probably is the only person who can say that. So not sure that's the strongest argument, but when you haven't won any competitions, you got to go with what you got. All right, we do have Terrance in bed talking to the cameras, saying it's nights like this and he misses Daniel, sneaking in cookies and singing impressions, things like that. Talk about if he had any CD in the world to listen to right now, it'd be Mary J. Blige with My Life. He's talking about the HOH tonight being so big. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Saying that this could be a runaway season, that everyone besides Michael really right now is playing for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. Everyone is targeting Michael. Everyone is targeting. He's going to have to pretty much win out. He or Brittany, or I guess Taylor as well. He's going to need to win out to take this thing. He's got a good chance. He's proven he's a comp beast, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun. He's saying that he is going to fight, that he feels like he deserves a real HOH as opposed to just kind of the pseudo HOH he got out in the backyard. So he's ready to come in guns a-blazing this evening to win this thing. Monty comes in at one point, starts talking to Terrance. Terrance is saying that he's pleading with America to give him some kind of special power. No special power so far this season, Terrance, but he's asking for that. Monty's saying that now is the time for a dramatic push. Monty's already said he'll go after Michael as well if he gets a chance. They're thinking that they still have some double eviction in the future of this season based just on the timing, how many days are left in the season, how many people are in house. So they're figuring there'll still be a double at some point. And they're wondering about what kind of HOH competition they may have tonight since they haven't heard a lot of construction noise in the backyard. All right, we've got Michael and Alyssa. We'll just call it what it is, attacking an expired bag of bread. These house guests waste so much food. I guarantee we ate every bit of bread that was in the house during my season. We didn't throw any of that away, but I guess the bread expired, so they're using it as a big old punching bag and just having a little fun with it. They're also wondering about the HOH competitions. All right, we've got Alyssa and Kyle in the bathrooms, or in the bathroom. Again, moving from one location to another. They're taking turns saying things that they like, that they hate about themselves. Kyle's telling Alyssa, do not give him a sympathy vote. I expect it's going to be unanimous tonight. Based on this especially, I don't think Alyssa will give him the vote. I don't think Terrance will either, so it's probably going to be unanimous. They're worried about that. Talking about poems, Alyssa's big into poems, and so they're talking about that a little bit as well. We've got Michael and Brittany talking in the kitchen. Michael's excited for Halloween. He's hoping his fiance's got all the decorations put up when he by the time he gets home. He's talking about that he dresses up his cats for Halloween every season. Why does that not surprise me in the tiniest? Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Michael. All right, we've got Brittany and Taylor in the kitchen. Brittany is saying, look, she'll do whatever she can to win HOH this week, that she needs pictures, she needs a letter. Terrance is gunning for it. Brittany's gunning for it. Monty's gunning for it. Everyone's gunning for HOH tonight. There's no throwing any competitions from this point forward. So she's saying she just has to have those pictures in a letter. Michael joins Brittany and Taylor in the kitchen. They're whispering about the fact that Alyssa has implied, nothing more than implying at this point, maybe wanting to work with them going forward. They're not really sure how to handle that. Remember at one point they were trying to pull us away from the rest of the group. Well, seems like they may have gotten it with some of the stuff that happened this week. Michael is saying as well that Turner talked to him about wanting the final five still to be the leftovers that are left. We lost Joseph, or losing Kyle, but there's still five leftovers in the house, and Turner wants that. Michael is saying he's not sure about that, maybe so, but he really likes the final four that they have, being himself, Brittany, Taylor, and Monty. He does want to talk to Monty. Monty apparently said something like the four had never actually sat down and talked together. So he's saying, yeah, maybe we need to grab Monty and talk as well. Michael is worried, though, about jury votes. Talk about Turner. Michael's a little bit worried about jury votes if either Turner or Alyssa made it to the final two, saying they got a lot of friends over in the jury house. That could be tough if either one of them makes it to the final two. Michael's pointing out that the three of us sitting right here, me, Brittany, Taylor, the three of us, we could be sitting here on finale night as well. This could be the final three. It could be. We'll find out. All right, we've got a big group: Taylor, Monty, Brittany, Turner, Kyle, Alyssa in the kitchen. No game talk whatsoever, but they're talking about previous seasons. More talk about which former house guests they'd like to meet after the end of the season. Alyssa eventually leaves, but the rest of the group's talking about past funny moments in the house, who follows the rules in the house, who doesn't, telling bad jokes, listening to bad jokes at 3:00 in the morning on the live feeds. That's my life. There you go. Yeah, there were some bad ones thrown out there. Talking about that as well. There's talk about possible HOH competitions. Lots of discussion about the competition where you take your clothes off while holding buttons. They did it with Celebrity Big Brother sitting in ski lifts. During my season, we were sitting on a jet ski. They spent a lot of time talking about that. One of my favorite competitions. I'm glad I got to compete in that. I wish I'd won. Would have been huge. But yeah, I love playing that jet ski comp, taking your clothes off while pushing the button. So they're talking about that a little bit. And then we move on to the next stage of the Alyssa Kyle goodbye tour. This time taking place in the Jetsons' bedroom. Yeah, they're laying in bed, covered with a blanket, snuggling with each other. Kyle is telling stories. Not maybe telling stories. Filling Alyssa in on bits of information, talking about all the past alliances he was involved with, who came up with the alliances, who came up with the names, just everything about the game he played so far. He's doing that. He starts feeling bad, saying, I don't want to do this. I'm feeling this is wrong. This is not right. He's thinking about all the groups he was involved with, all the game he played without Alyssa's involvement or knowledge, and that's bothering him at this point in time. But Alyssa's saying, no, give me the info. I want to know this stuff. So he does talk to her about all of that. He starts talking about how he listened to podcasts before he came into the house about how to play Big Brother. And two of the things that he had heard was that, one, you have to play the game for yourself. You can't play it for anyone else but yourself. And two was that you can't come into this house trusting anyone, trust no one whatsoever. Both of those very valid. I agree with both of those. But Kyle's talking about and saying that was his thinking, his mentality as he came into the house. Hence some of the reasons that he played the game he did, and why he was so focused on doing things to further him in the game and everything else. So he's explaining that to Alyssa a little bit. And then finally, we've got Taylor and Turner and Monty and Michael. The last, well, no, I'm leaving out the big part. Alyssa and Kyle. So they're talking about that. He's given the basis for how he came into the game. And with that, the lights turn off. I don't know, around 1:30, 1:45 or so, Big Brother time. Lights turn off in the house. Feeds cut right after that, just in the bedroom, not in the rest of the house. So we don't know what happened. I'm sure they had a few more goodbyes. So take from that what you will. But we that was the last we saw of Kyle and Alyssa, I'm pretty sure, for the evening. As the lights go off and they're snuggling in the Jetsons' bedroom. All right, finally, we go back to the kitchen dining area. We've got Taylor, Turner, Monty, and Michael. They're playing a game of taking turns, naming a candy or candy bar. Then the next person has to say it, another one without repeating it, and they play that until someone doesn't have a name or duplicates something. Okay, it's a fun game. A little more fun when they have to start doing that with past house guests that have played Big Brother. All I gotta say, that game lasted a while. There's a lot of folks that have played Big Brother over the last 24 seasons. So they play that for a little bit. Eventually, they pull out the Chinese checkers board, get it all set up. I'm not even sure if they play a full game. I don't think they did. They just played for a little bit. Monty's playing with the pieces and all of that. And with that, they shut it down. Lights off by, 3 o'clock or so, Big Brother time. Again, not a lot of strategic play. Everyone knows what's going to happen with the eviction part of the night. It's all about the HOH. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we get to watch it live. Don't know what kind of eviction it's going to be or HOH, but hopefully we get to watch it live either during the show or during the live feeds afterwards. But even if not, I'll be watching to see who wins this thing. I'll be back tomorrow morning to give you the scoop. Once we know who's HOH, we can figure out what the direction of the rest of the week, maybe even kind of the rest of the season is going to go. It'll certainly give us a lot better idea. So guys, y'all have a fantastic Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow morning to give you all the scoop on what happened after the eviction this evening. We'll see what happens. SKD 143. Cheers, my friends.